Have you ever found yourself pulling away from friends and social obligations as you grow older? You're not alone, and in fact, this shift in perspective might just be one of the most important realizations you can make as you enter your golden years. In today's video, I'm going to share why I, at 70, am intentionally choosing solitude over socializing, and why this decision is leading to more peace, joy, and fulfillment than I ever imagined. As we age, we often find ourselves questioning the relationships and obligations we've held onto for so long. What if I told you that embracing solitude and carefully curating your connections can bring a sense of freedom that you might have never considered? This video isn't just about avoiding people. It's about understanding the wisdom that comes with choosing how we spend our time and energy, especially when we're in our later years. You'll learn how to prioritize the relationships that truly matter, and more importantly, how to let go of the ones that drain your energy. I'll share the personal lessons I've learned the hard way. Lessons that have led to a life filled with more clarity and fewer regrets. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of why solitude isn't loneliness, why your time is your most valuable asset, and how to navigate this stage of life with grace and wisdom. Stay with me until the end to hear about the transformative power of self-care, how to trust your instincts when it comes to relationships, and why true happiness in old age doesn't depend on being surrounded by people. Let's take a deep dive into how you can embrace your golden years on your terms. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. 1 is the weight of time and priorities. Reaching the age of 70 is more than just a number. It is a profound, soul-stirring milestone that carries with it a heightened awareness of time, a realization that brings both comfort and sorrow. Time, once an unspoken companion that flowed endlessly, now feels like a cherished yet fleeting friend, always reminding me of its gentle passage. The days no longer stretch on, infinite and full of possibility as they once did in the vigor of youth. Instead, they seem to whisper to me, urging me to embrace each fleeting moment, to savor every heartbeat, every breath. This awareness of time's transient nature has fundamentally reshaped the way I view my relationships and daily choices. In my youth, I gave away my time with reckless abandon, believing there would always be more. I invested in relationships that drained me, said yes to commitments that chipped away at my peace, and dedicated energy to pursuits that, when I look back now, held little true meaning. I was too generous with my time, spreading myself thin, and trying to please everyone, often at the expense of my well-being. But now, with the wisdom that comes from a lifetime of experiences, I have come to realize just how precious time truly is. It has become my most valuable currency, one that I guard fiercely. I no longer allow it to slip away unnoticed, wasted on things that do not nourish my spirit. I have become deliberate in how I spend my time, mindful of where I direct my energy, and who I choose to share it with. At 70, my priorities have become unmistakably clear. I no longer feel the weight of obligation or the pressure to meet the expectations of others. The need to please everyone and maintain superficial connections has faded. It's no longer about simply being polite or conforming to societal norms. It's about alignment, about asking myself, does this bring me joy? Does this relationship or activity enrich my life in a meaningful way? If the answer is no, I have learned to release it, even when doing so tugs at my heart. There is a bittersweet quality to this stage of life, a kind of peace in letting go. I look back on the years I've lived, not with regret, but with a tender, gentle acknowledgement of the lessons they have taught me. I have learned to embrace the beauty of impermanence, understanding that everything has its season, including relationships, experiences, and phases of life. I've also come to accept that not every friendship is meant to endure forever and that it's okay to outgrow people or situations. This isn't about bitterness or holding on to past wounds. Rather, it's about honoring the person I am now, and the incredible journey I've taken to become her. There's a quiet strength in this recognition, a peaceful understanding that I no longer need to carry relationships that no longer serve my heart. The weight of time has granted me a sharper focus on what truly matters. The petty dramas and distractions that once seemed so significant have faded into the background. My energy is no longer spent on things that steal my peace. Instead, I seek simplicity, the calming embrace of quiet moments, and meaningful connections that are rooted in authenticity and shared understanding. I've learned to treasure the beauty of quality over quantity. Whether in the friendships I nurture, the experiences I create, or even in the moments I spend in solitude. This shift in priorities isn't a sign of bitterness or withdrawal from the world. It is the wisdom that comes with age. It is the recognition that life is too short and too precious to be spent on things that do not feed the soul. It is embracing the freedom that comes with this stage of life. The freedom to say no without guilt, to choose peace over obligation, and to live each day in a way that honors what truly matters to me. This newfound understanding has brought me a deep sense of peace, a peace I had never known before. By letting go of the things that no longer serve me, I've made space for the things that do. Whether it's the laughter of my grandchildren, the serenity of a quiet morning, or the joy of nurturing my garden, the weight of time, though heavy at times, has been a precious gift. It has taught me to live with intention, to embrace the life I've been given, and to find beauty in the moments that truly matter. 2. Lessons learned the hard way. Life has a way of teaching its most profound lessons through hardship, as if it demands we pay the price of growth with pain and struggle. At 70, I find myself looking back, reflecting on the countless lessons I learned the hard way. Insights that could have spared me years of heartache, wasted time, and unnecessary battles. Yet, it is through this very struggle that I have earned the wisdom I carry today, a wisdom that has become my compass in the latter years of my life. When I was younger, I wore my heart on my sleeve. I believed, with all the innocence of youth, that kindness would always be met with kindness, loyalty would always be returned, and that good intentions alone were enough to forge deep and lasting bonds. I trusted others with a naive openness, imagining that the world was a place where love and respect would flourish effortlessly. But as the years unfolded, life shattered that illusion. I encountered individuals who took advantage of my generosity, manipulated my trust, prioritized their own selfish needs over my well-being, and left emotional scars so deep I couldn't have foreseen them. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It was a painful awakening, one that left me questioning everything I thought I knew about human connection. I learned in the harshest of ways that trust, though essential, must be earned, not given freely. I've come to realize that not all relationships are meant to last a lifetime. Some are merely chapters in our story, here to teach us lessons before we move on. Accepting this truth was both liberating and agonizing. Letting go of people you once held dear, admitting that a bond was never what you thought it was, is never easy. Yet, I've discovered that clinging to relationships out of obligation or nostalgia only drags us down, keeping us stuck in the past and preventing us from stepping into the fullness of our future. This journey of learning wasn't limited to others. It was equally about confronting myself. There were times I gave too much of myself, times I ignored the warning signs, and times I allowed others to define my worth, forgetting that my value wasn't theirs to dictate. Those moments of self-betrayal were humbling beyond words. Yet, in that humbling there was power. There was strength in acknowledging my flaws, and in understanding that I, too, had a role to play in the way my life unfolded. These hard-earned lessons were painful, but they were transformative. They shaped me into someone who now values boundaries, someone who understands the importance of self-respect, and someone who has learned the courage to walk away from situations that no longer serve my peace. This growth hasn't been easy. It's been a process of shedding old skin, letting go of what no longer serves me, and embracing the woman I am becoming. Now, as I reflect, I no longer carry the weight of regret. Instead, I hold the gift of growth in my hands. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every mistake has been a stepping stone that has taught me how to protect my heart, honor my peace, and live in alignment with my deepest values. At 70, I carry these lessons not as burdens but as tools, each one a sharp edge that cuts away the distractions and helps me navigate this stage of life with clarity, purpose, and grace. What once felt like wounds have now become the markers of wisdom, guiding me through my remaining years with a deep sense of understanding and inner strength. 3. The beauty of solitude. There was a time, not so long ago, when being alone felt like an unbearable ache, a raw, unfilled void that gnawed at me. I filled that emptiness with noise, endless distractions, a whirlwind of activities, and the shallow comfort of others' company. It was as if I feared the silence, fearing that in its stillness, I would be forced to face my thoughts and my feelings. But as the years unfolded, as I grew older and wiser, something shifted within me. Solitude, once a daunting companion, transformed into a sanctuary, an oasis where I could finally be me, unburdened by the crushing weight of external expectations, free from the relentless demands of the world around me. At 70, Solitude has become a precious gift I never knew I needed, a treasure that has revealed itself most tenderly and profoundly. In the quiet of my mornings, as the first light of dawn gently kisses the earth, I step outside, breathing in the cool, crisp air. It feels as though I am walking hand in hand with the universe itself, engaging in a sacred conversation that needs no words. The silence of the world before the sun fully rises is a sacred invitation to simply be. In my garden, surrounded by the rhythmic whispers of the wind dancing through the trees, I am reminded of something extraordinary, that beauty isn't always loud or extravagant. Sometimes, beauty is the quiet hum of life unfolding in its gentle rhythm. These moments, these sacred pauses in time, are not mere interruptions in my life, they are life. They are where I find my truest sense of peace, where I hear the pulse of my soul in harmony with the world around me. The pandemic, though it tore through the world with unimaginable pain and loss, also became an unexpected turning point for me. It stripped away everything. My busy schedule, the distractions, the external noise I had clung to for years. It left me standing face to face with the one person I had neglected for so long, myself. In the silence, I was forced to confront parts of myself I had long overlooked. It was in those long, quiet hours that I discovered something life-changing. I didn't need the constant busyness or the validation of others to feel fulfilled. What I needed was to reconnect with my own heart, to listen deeply to the thoughts and feelings I had been too afraid to hear. Solitude became a mirror, reflecting the truth of who I am, without judgment, without pretense. And in that reflection, I found peace. This newfound appreciation for solitude has forever altered how I view my relationships with others. I no longer feel burdened by the societal pressure to maintain connections that drain my energy or bring me no joy. I've learned at last that it's not only okay to step back, it's essential. I no longer feel guilty about choosing quiet evenings spent in the comfort of my thoughts, instead of filling my life with obligations that do nothing to nourish my spirit. I've learned to protect my energy, to keep it safe from the toxicity of people who demand too much, or bring nothing but drama into my life. This isn't about rejecting anyone. It's about embracing the profound peace that comes with intentional living, where every moment is carefully chosen and valued. Solitude has also deepened my sense of gratitude in ways I never expected. In the silence, I've learned to reflect on the life I've lived, the joyful moments and the heartaches, the people who have crossed my path, each one leaving their imprint on my heart. I cherish the lessons I've learned along the way, the wisdom that only time can offer. Solitude has taught me to truly appreciate the relationship I have with myself. This relationship is the foundation upon which everything else rests. It is in these quiet moments, when the world outside fades away, that I discover the beauty of just being. As I move forward in this chapter of life, I find that I am no longer drawn to the loud, chaotic crowds or the endless noise of the world. The beauty of solitude, its richness, its depth, is where I feel most alive. It is here, in the stillness, that I feel my heart beating in rhythm with the universe, my soul at peace with everything it has experienced. Solitude is not something to fear or avoid. It is a wise and gentle companion, reminding me of the vast, untapped richness that lies within. At 70, I embrace it fully, knowing that in the quiet, I discover my truest self. Fourth, the changing nature of friendships. As I reflect on the ever-changing landscape of friendships at 70, I am overwhelmed by a mix of emotions. Gratitude, loss, and, at times, a poignant sense of bittersweet acceptance. Friendships, like the seasons of life, ebb and flow, blooming in one moment only to fade in the next. Over the decades, I've witnessed this delicate dance of connection and disconnection, and as the years pass, I find myself deeply contemplating those relationships that have come and gone and those that, against all odds, have endured. In our youth, friendships are often born from sheer circumstance. We find one another in school hallways, at work, in the playgrounds of our neighborhoods, and in the shared rhythms of our daily lives. These early relationships are vibrant and full of energy, forged from the fire of youthful exuberance and shared experience. They are bound together by proximity, spontaneity, and the contagious energy of those golden years. The laughter is easy, the bonds effortless, and the days seem filled with endless possibilities. But as we age, life begins to prune our social gardens. The career shifts, the moves, the unpredictable turns that life takes. Suddenly, people who once felt indispensable to our daily existence begin to drift away like autumn leaves carried by the wind. What once seemed so constant and stable now feels fragile and transient. This realization, though undeniably painful at times, has brought with it a kind of peace. At 70, I've come to understand that not every friendship is destined to last forever. Some relationships, no matter how deeply intertwined they once were, are simply meant to be part of a specific season of our lives. They come into our lives at exactly the right time, teaching us invaluable lessons, providing companionship during certain chapters, and then, as naturally as the setting sun, fading into the background as we move forward. It's a humbling experience to witness these relationships dissolve, but I've learned to honor their place in my journey rather than mourn their absence. Letting go isn't about regret, it's about honoring the evolution of the self. These friendships, though no longer active, remain woven into the fabric of who I am. Their lessons and the love they once offered will forever reside within me. But not all friendships fade into the distance. There are those rare, sacred bonds that endure, timeless treasures, the kind of friendships that are built not on fleeting moments but on decades of shared history. These friends have seen me through the deepest of valleys and the highest of peaks. They've witnessed me at my most vulnerable and my most triumphant. These are the souls who understand the language of silence, the value of a comforting touch, or the quiet strength in simply being present. They ask for nothing more than to be with you in the rawness of your true self, in all its imperfections and flaws. Theirs is a love that doesn't require constant tending, for the connection is deeply rooted, solidified by mutual respect, unwavering trust, and a shared history too rich to measure. These friendships are not merely about companionship, they are the quiet anchors in the stormy seas of life. As I have aged, my perspective on friendships has shifted. I have grown far more selective about where I place my time and energy. The days of maintaining connections out of guilt or social obligation are behind me. The years have taught me that my time is precious, and I choose to invest in relationships that nourish my soul, lift me, and fill my heart with warmth. There is an immense freedom in this understanding. The freedom to prioritize my peace without apology. In a world that constantly demands more of us, I've come to realize that the most important thing I can do is to protect my inner serenity, to honor the relationships that reciprocate the same care and attention I so freely give. I've also learned to cherish the simplicity of what friendship has become in my later years. It no longer requires grand gestures or extravagant outings. A heartfelt conversation, a genuine laugh shared between two old friends, or a quiet moment of understanding speaks volumes more than years of superficial interactions. These are the moments that truly define friendship in its purest form. Small, unassuming, but profound. In the wisdom of age, I've come to understand that the true measure of a friendship is not in its quantity or frequency, but in the quality of the connection. It's in the moments of presence, of being fully seen and heard, that the richness of friendship is truly experienced. The changing nature of friendships is a reflection of the life I've lived, a tapestry of connections, growth, and inevitable change. At 70, I embrace these transformations with open arms, for each friendship, whether fleeting or lasting, has played a role in shaping the person I have become. Though some relationships have faded, their love and the lessons they imparted remain deeply embedded in my soul. In the end, I find solace in the truth that true friendship is not about permanence but about presence. The shared moments of connection that endure in our hearts long after the seasons of life have passed. 5. Trust and vulnerability. Trust and vulnerability. These two profound forces shape the very core of our relationships, yet they are delicate, fragile threads that can unravel with the slightest tremor. As I journey through my 70s, I've come to realize that trust is not a gift, but something that must be carefully cultivated, tenderly nurtured, and earned with time. It is the foundation on which every meaningful connection rests, but it is also, tragically, one of the most vulnerable aspects of our hearts. Through decades of experience, I've learned this truth deeply. Trust is a treasure that demands respect and a watchful eye, for it is too easily broken, too easily betrayed. In my younger years, I was more open and more willing to extend trust to others, believing that goodwill would be reciprocated in kind. But over time, life has a way of teaching you harsh lessons. I have placed my trust in people who did not honor it, and the pain of that betrayal has etched its mark upon my soul. Each moment of disappointment, each shattered trust, has carved out a deeper understanding within me. I've learned that trust is not a currency to be spent lightly, but rather a sacred bond that requires both care and caution. In this chapter of my life, I am more deliberate and more discerning about who I allow into my world. This caution is not born of bitterness, nor is it a defense against the world. It is the wisdom of a heart that has been tested and shaped by time. At 70, I've come to embrace the painful truth that not everyone deserves access to the depths of my heart. Some will seize upon your kindness, take advantage of your trust, and leave you drained, broken, or scarred. It's not about judging them. It's about protecting the sacred space that is your peace, your joy. The red flags that once might have gone unnoticed now wave clearly in the distance, reminding me to tread carefully. But even as I guard my heart, I know that to close the door completely would be a mistake. Trust-like vulnerability is a door that must remain slightly ajar, allowing in only those who are deserving, those who show through their actions that they, too, understand the sanctity of these gifts. Vulnerability, in many ways, is an even more fragile offering than trust. It takes incredible courage to allow yourself to be seen, to let others witness the raw truth of who you are, without the shields of pretense or self-protection. At this stage of life, I've learned that vulnerability is not recklessness. It is intentional, thoughtful, and wise. It's the quiet act of choosing to show up, not in perfection, but in all of your beautiful imperfections. It's the courage to risk exposing your heart, knowing that it could be broken, yet trusting that the reward, when shared with the right person, far outweighs the risk. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Trust and vulnerability are two sides of the same coin. They are inseparable in their dance, demanding both courage and caution. It's a delicate balance, one that requires immense discernment, yet when nurtured, it opens the door to the deepest, most fulfilling relationships we can experience. At 70, I know this balance is no longer just something I strive for, it is something I cherish deeply. When I trust, I do so with care and wisdom, knowing that the right connections, the ones that resonate with mutual respect, are worth the risk. And in those moments, when trust and vulnerability converge, I am reminded of life's greatest truth. These gifts, though fragile, are worth everything. They make all the hurt, all the disappointments, all the risks, so incredibly worth it. 6. The importance of self-care. At 70, self-care has evolved into something far more profound than I ever imagined. What once seemed like a luxury is now a lifeline, a crucial act of survival, both physically and emotionally. It has become my unwavering declaration that I matter, and that my well-being is worth every ounce of care and attention I can give. This realization didn't come overnight. It was born from years of putting everyone else first, from sacrificing my own needs in the name of duty, relationships, and societal expectations. I now understand that to care for oneself is not an indulgence. It is a profound necessity, an act of self-respect, and an acknowledgement of my worth. As the years have passed, the practice of self-care has become more layered and more deliberate. It's no longer just about nourishing my body with healthy food or taking leisurely walks, though these simple acts are still crucial. The real transformation lies in protecting my emotional well-being and learning to guard the precious energy I have left. I've learned to say no, not out of selfishness, but out of necessity. No to commitments that drain me, to relationships that bring more sorrow than joy, to the overwhelming pressure of the world's constant demand for productivity. In this season of life, I've come to see rest not as a luxury but as an act of rebellion, a form of quiet resistance to a society that idolizes busyness and forgets the vital importance of balance. Self-care at this stage of my life is deeply personal. It's in the tender rituals that I've cultivated, a warm cup of tea that comforts me at the start of each day, the quiet joy of nurturing my garden, and the sense of peaceful escape that a good book brings. These small, sacred moments remind me that the true beauty of life often resides not in grand gestures, but in the soft, simple acts that bring us peace. They are the heartbeat of my days, grounding me in the present and filling me with a sense of purpose. But self-care isn't just about the body and mind. It's about the spirit. It's about compassion, forgiving myself for the mistakes I've made, releasing the guilt that once consumed me, and accepting the limitations that come with aging. I no longer need to push against the aging process or mourn the changes in my body. Instead, I embrace them, knowing that I have done the best I could with the tools I had at the time. This forgiveness, this kindness toward myself, has been nothing short of transformative. It's allowed me to approach each day with a deeper sense of gratitude, not regret, a recognition that every wrinkle, every ache, is a testament to the life I've lived and the wisdom I've gained. Self-care, then, is not just a practice. It's a mindset, a sacred foundation upon which everything else in my life rests. It is the conscious decision to prioritize my health, my happiness, and my peace because they are the wellspring from which all else flows. At 70, I've embraced this truth fully, and it has brought me a sense of peace I never imagined possible. A peace born not of perfection, but of acceptance, self-love, and a deep understanding that I am enough, just as I am. 7. Navigating the complex emotions. Navigating the complex emotions that accompany the later years of life is an intricate and deeply personal journey, one that I've come to understand more intimately as I grow older. At 70, the emotions I experience are a swirling mix, sometimes harmonious and at other times tumultuous, pulling me in different directions. There are moments of sheer joy, where my heart feels light and full, but they are often accompanied by the weight of grief, a reminder that time, though precious, is fleeting. Gratitude and regret intermingle in ways I never expected, while contentment quietly coexists with a longing for days gone by. It is in this beautiful mess of emotions that I've come to understand that life, no matter the age, is never simple. Instead, it is wonderfully layered, multifaceted, and ever-evolving. One of the most complicated and often painful emotions I've had to confront is guilt. This type of guilt is unlike any other. It's the guilt that quietly surfaces when you start pulling away from people, especially when it feels like you should be closer to them. It arises when I decline invitations, choosing to protect my peace instead of engaging in social obligations that no longer serve me. It's the guilt that whispers when I take a step back from relationships that drains me, even though deep down, I know it's the right thing for my well-being. There's a heaviness to it, a sense that I'm somehow failing others or betraying them by prioritizing my own needs. But over time, I've learned to look at that guilt through a different lens. It's no longer a sign of failure but a symbol of growth, a testament to the hard-won wisdom that I am finally, after decades of struggle, learning to honor myself. It has taken years, even lifetimes, to come to terms with the truth that it's not only okay but essential to carve out space for myself. Loneliness, too, has been a companion I've had to learn to embrace rather than avoid. Though I've come to cherish solitude and its quiet power, there are moments when the absence of human connection feels overwhelming. In those times, loneliness can feel like a shadow, heavy and undeniable. Yet, I have discovered that loneliness does not mean that I've made the wrong choices or that I am missing something essential. It is simply a natural part of the ebb and flow of life, a fleeting sensation that comes and goes, like a passing storm cloud. I've learned to sit with it, not with despair, but with acceptance, allowing it to pass as it always does. And in the moments when the loneliness feels particularly sharp, I turn to the things that soothe me, the cherished memories that dance in my mind like soft light, a favorite song that fills the room with nostalgia, or the gentle embrace of nature, reminding me of the world's vastness and beauty. Through it all, gratitude has been my anchor, my steady rock. Even on the days when the weight of the world feels particularly heavy, I force myself to focus on the blessings that remain. I remind myself of the love I have shared, the lessons I have learned, and the incredible resilience that I've built over the years. Gratitude does not erase the hardships or the complexities of life. It does not make them disappear, but it shifts my perspective in ways I never thought possible. It allows me to see the beauty that still exists, even in the most trying moments, and helps me find peace within the chaos. The process of navigating these emotions is not always easy. It demands patience, grace, and an unwavering commitment to the truth of who I am. I've learned to sit with my feelings, to welcome them without judgment, and to allow them to guide me toward deeper understanding. Each emotion, whether it brings joy or sorrow, holds something valuable. They are not things to be fixed or erased, but things to be accepted, learned from, and appreciated. Together, they weave a rich, vibrant tapestry, a reflection of the fullness of life itself. At 70, I have come to accept that the complexities of life are not something to be solved, but something to be cherished. The beautiful, messy, multifaceted nature of these emotions is a testament to a life well lived, a journey filled with love, loss, growth, and resilience. And it is this very complexity, this intricate dance of light and shadow, that makes life so profoundly human. It's something I wouldn't trade for anything. 8. Advice for those feeling the same. If you find yourself standing at a crossroads where people, rather than filling you with warmth and joy, seem to drain your spirit and leave you feeling exhausted, please know you are not alone. As I reflect on my journey, now at 70, I've come to understand something profound and liberating. Stepping back from social connections is not a sign of failure or bitterness. It is an intimate, deeply personal act of self-preservation and wisdom that comes with age. The tapestry of life we've woven, with its many twists and turns, highs and lows, has taught us the sacred importance of guarding our energy and choosing peace over chaos. One of the most precious lessons I've learned, through both joy and heartache, is the power of trusting our instincts. In our earlier years, we may have clung to relationships out of obligation, fear, or an overwhelming desire to avoid conflict. We sacrificed parts of ourselves, perhaps unaware, to appease others, convinced that staying in these draining connections was a reflection of kindness or love. But as the years go by, we realize something crucial. Our well-being, our inner peace, must be our top priority. If a relationship feels suffocating, one-sided, or filled with unnecessary drama, it is not only okay to step back, it is essential. Walking away does not signal a lack of care or love. Rather, it signals an immense love for ourselves and a profound respect for our need for boundaries. It's about protecting the delicate, sacred energy within us. Embrace solitude, without shame or guilt. Society often perpetuates the idea that a life well lived is one packed with constant social engagements, a whirlwind of gatherings and obligations. But I've learned that this is far from the truth. The truest joy, for many of us, comes not from the noise of a busy calendar, but from the stillness and solitude that allow us to reconnect with ourselves. A quiet walk along a peaceful path, the comforting pages of a well-loved book, the simple, sacred joy of sitting quietly as the first rays of dawn touch the earth. These moments are treasures. Solitude is not a void to fear. It is a powerful source of renewal. It is in these quiet moments that we can hear our voices, reflect on the life we've built, and experience a deeper connection with who we truly are. Above all, I urge you to focus on the relationships that truly nourish and uplift your soul. In this chapter of life, the quantity of relationships matters less than the quality of those connections. A deep, heartfelt conversation with someone who truly sees and understands you is worth more than hours spent in the company of superficial acquaintances. We've all learned the hard way that not every person deserves a place in our inner circle. Take time to invest in those who bring you joy, those whose presence fills you with peace and warmth. You no longer need to feel bound by the duty to maintain connections out of obligation. You've earned the right to choose wisely, and to surround yourself with those who support your happiness and well-being. Remember, this stage of life is a gift, a time for honoring yourself, your values, and your needs. It is about making decisions that align with your energy and what truly brings you peace. Let go of the things and people that no longer serve your highest good. Don't fear the quiet, because it is in those silent moments that the clearest, most profound clarity often arises. You've walked this long, winding road. Now, you deserve the joy of peace, the comfort of solitude, and the strength that comes from honoring your truest self. 9. A new chapter at 70. At 70, life unfolds before me like a cherished book, each page bearing the weight of experiences both sweet and sorrowful. Yet, there is something undeniably special about this chapter, the one I am currently living. It isn't just the passage of time that makes it stand out, it's the profound quiet that fills the space between breaths, a quiet that holds within it reflections of a life lived fully. The pages before may have been filled with the energy of youth, bursting with ambition, dreams, and striving. But now, I stand at a crossroads where time has gifted me the luxury of slowing down. It is quieter, yes, but it is rich in meaning, deeper than I could have ever imagined. This chapter isn't about proving anything. There's no need to rush toward a finish line or maintain the frenetic pace that once drove me. Now, it's about savoring what I've built, a life filled with intricate connections, cherished memories, and an enduring strength of my own. I've learned that the key to this new chapter is no longer about pleasing others or keeping up with expectations. It's about embracing my true self, finding peace in who I've become, and letting go of anything, anyone, that no longer nourishes my spirit. The relationships that remain are the ones that breathe life into me, those that support my journey without demanding anything more than presence and authenticity. The love I give and receive is no longer tainted by obligation, but fueled by genuine affection, acceptance, and respect for the essence of who I am. As I move forward, I've discovered that fulfillment is not tethered to grand accomplishments or external validation. At 70, I find joy in the smallest, most unassuming moments, like the first light of morning kissing my face, the wind softly rustling through the trees, or the sound of a loved one's laughter that fills my home with warmth. These moments, seemingly insignificant, have a depth to them that is beyond measure. They anchor me in the present, remind me of the beauty in simplicity, and show me that the richness of life is often found in the quietest corners. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. This chapter is not the end of the story. It is an evolution, a continuation of the narrative that began long ago. It is a reminder that as the years on, life does not diminish but transforms. The beauty of living at this age lies in the shift from wanting to achieve to desiring to experience. Deeply, authentically, and with intention. At 70, I have found a new peace, one that comes with a deep acceptance of both what has been and what is yet to come. The pages I've written so far have been filled with lessons learned, mistakes forgiven, and moments of growth that have shaped me into who I am today. And I am more than ready to fill the next chapters with what truly matters, the connection to my own heart and the hearts of those I love. At this age, life feels both simpler and far more profound. The noise of younger years, the pressures to succeed, to please, to accumulate, has quieted, leaving space for clarity to breathe. I realize now that a life well lived is not defined by how many people we've met or how many trophies we've collected. It's measured by the depth of our relationships, the quality of the moments we've shared, and the peace we've made with ourselves. This stage of life is about embracing what remains after time has stripped away the superficial. The excess noise, the endless chase after something outside of ourselves, fades into the background, leaving only the echoes of what is real. The relationships that stand firm in this chapter are those that have weathered the years with me, those that recognize my flaws, my strengths, and my story. It is a time to honor those who have stayed close to me, who have shared the peaks and valleys of my journey, and to gently let go of the relationships that no longer serve me. Solitude has become a cherished companion, not a retreat from the world, but a space in which I can reflect, grow, and simply be. I have come to understand that solitude does not equal loneliness. It is a place of refuge where I can hear my voice, nourish my spirit, and celebrate my existence. In solitude, I find my strength, my clarity, and my purpose. It is in these quiet moments that I honor the wisdom I've gained over the years, wisdom that whispers of resilience, self-compassion, and the profound beauty of simply existing. Aging is not a loss. It is one of the greatest gifts life offers. It allows us to shed the layers that no longer serve us and embrace a life that is truer and more authentic. It's a time to celebrate the journey, to accept our missteps and imperfections, and to take pride in the resilience that has carried us through. At 70, I look back at the years with gratitude, both for the joy they brought and for the lessons that came through the struggles. Every moment has contributed to this beautiful tapestry of life, and I find peace in knowing that the best parts of the story have yet to unfold. As I look ahead, I see not an end, but a new beginning, one filled with gratitude, love, and anticipation. There are still moments to share, lessons to learn, and connections to deepen. There is always room for new joys, discoveries, and new chapters. To those walking this same path, know that you are not alone. Life at 70 is a time to be celebrated, a time to honor who we have become, and a reminder that there is always beauty in the journey, no matter our age. Let us step into this chapter with grace, wisdom, and the quiet confidence that comes from a life well lived. It's not the number of years we've lived that matters. It's the depth with which we've experienced them, and at 70, I am ready to experience them with open arms and an open heart. As we come to the end of this chapter together, I want to reflect on everything we've shared today. Aging isn't a loss. It's an incredible opportunity to embrace wisdom, authenticity, and the profound beauty that comes with each new season of life. From finding peace in solitude to cherishing the relationships that truly matter, we've seen how the later years can be filled with purpose, meaning, and grace. So, what have you learned from today's reflection? Perhaps it's the importance of stepping back from the noise and embracing the quiet joy of simply being. Maybe it's the realization that true fulfillment is found in the small moments that ground us in the present. Whatever resonates with you, I encourage you to take a moment and reflect on what you've learned and how you can bring it into your life. Please share one thing you've learned from this video and how you plan to practice it moving forward. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear what you're taking with you as you step into your journey. Leave your comment below and let's continue the conversation. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content that helps us navigate the complexities and joys of aging with wisdom and heart. Thank you for being part of this community.